Hi everyone, this is Nadia from China Admissions. So I hope you can hear me well. So if you can hear me all right, you can type something on the chat bar like yes or yes, I can hear you, or just type one or anything. So just to make sure that everyone can hear me so that I can start the presentation for today, which is about the admissions update for the September 2021 intake. Okay, it's great to know that sounds clear. So I think, yeah, we are like 4 minutes behind the schedule already. So I can just start the presentation about the admissions update for the September 2021 intake for Chinese universities. So there will be a Q&A session as well at the end of this presentation. And if you have any questions later, feel free to just write it down on the chat bar there. Just write it down, then I'll cover all of the questions at the end of this presentation. So I hope this presentation is useful for everyone, especially for those of you who are considering to study in China in the upcoming 2021 or maybe in the later intake as well. Right. So first of all, I'd like to introduce myself first. So for those of you who haven't met me online or maybe met me in the real life as well. So my name is Nadia Wijaya. I came from Indonesia originally, but now I'm based in Beijing, working together with China Admissions as the student recruitment manager. And I used to be an international student myself here in China. I was studying in University of International Business and Economics in Beijing, but that was like a long time ago, about 4 years ago. I was getting my master's degree from this university in Beijing. So I was studying Masters of World Economics at that time in UIBE from 2017 to 2019. After that, I graduated and then I joined China Admissions to help more international students to be able to successfully come and study in China. So uh, I think that's all about me, pretty much. Well, I have like overall, I have a pretty good experiences studying in China and also living in China as well. And that's why I continue live in China, then work in China, and yeah. And then this is a little bit about our company, China Admissions. So for those of you who are still probably confused or anything about China Admissions, so China Admissions is an award-winning platform for international students to apply to Chinese universities. And we partner with over 200 of top Chinese universities, and we have over 150,000 registered students on our platform. So in the recent years as well, our team at China Admissions, we have won several awards. For example, our founder is awarded the 2019 Foreign Entrepreneur Study in China by the World Innovator Meet in 2019. And also our company, China Admissions, is nominated in the Holland IQ China EdTech 100 in 2020. And then we also got a funding from the Chaoyang government here in Beijing, which is called the Chaoyang Phoenix Grant. That's in both 2019 and also in 2020. And a little bit about our team here at China Admissions. Basically, we are a multicultural team that came from various backgrounds and countries. And most of our team members were also former students at Chinese university. So most of us do understand uh, the experiences being a foreign students in Chinese universities, being a foreigner here in China, or maybe just a general overview of like how is the life here in China. So because we have all experienced that. And I'll introduce you a little bit more about our team and also our company. So China Admissions office is located here in Beijing. And then this is our founder, Richard Coward from UK. He's our founder and our CEO. And then if you use China Admissions along the way, you'll meet this half of the team members, so mostly me and Didier Frank, who are on the recruitment team. And our role is to help international students with their applications and then helping them completing their applications, choosing the program. So everything related to your applications to Chinese universities. And then once everything is completed, then your applications will be then processed by the team on our enrollment team. We have Dolgon and also Celia, and their role is to process and submit applications to the universities and also to give application updates to all of you who applied through China Admissions. And yes, from the name, it's basically very obvious that we came from different countries. I think all the five of us came from all different 5 countries. So that's how multicultural the team here at China Admissions. And yeah, these are some of the universities that partner with China Admissions. For example, Tongji University, and then Jinzhou Medical University, BIT, Beijing Institute of Technology, BFSU, Beijing Foreign Studies Universities, XJTLU, Xi'an Jiaotong Liverpool University, Sino British College, Zhejiang University of Science and Technology, Huazhong University of Science and Technology, and many more. So there are a lot more universities that are cooperating with us directly. So we're able to help you apply to Chinese universities. And then these are basically the agenda for today's presentation. So the first one is about the admissions update for 2021 intake, and then the application process, and then the tips and tricks, scholarships information, and there is also the frequently asked questions, or all the things you know basically about your applications to Chinese universities. And again, if you have any questions, anything at all, just write it down on the chat bar, right? And I'll cover it at the end of the session. So next is about the first things first, like why study in China? Because I know a lot of you are like, probably you're considering to just study abroad. So it's not just China generally, but like also to other countries. But there are like about 7, 8 reasons here that I can share with you about why you should be studying in China and not other countries. So first one is definitely to learn Chinese language. So as everybody know, Chinese language is the most spoken language in the world. And then secondly, China is basically a popular destination for international students. There are about 500,000 international students who are studying with Chinese universities at the moment. So in a way, if you come to China, you're not only going to meet Chinese people, but you'll also be able to meet with international people as well. You'll meet friends from like other countries as well, not just from China. And it's not just from the neighboring countries like Japan or Korea. It's much more beyond that. You'll get to meet people from even far away from China, like people from Australia, from New Zealand, from the South America. They're like so far away from China, but you get to meet them here in China, and you can meet people from Southeast Asia, from other Asian countries, from Europe, US, literally from anywhere. I mean, based on my own experiences when I was studying my master's program, I was even the only Indonesian around in my class. So my other classmates came from different part of the world. I have classmates from Russia, from Mongolia, from Thailand, from Laos, from Bangladesh, from Tajikistan as well. So Kazakhstan as well. So I have people. I know friends from, like literally from various different backgrounds and countries. And I think that's also a key thing of like why you should be coming to China right now, because everybody is literally eyeing and then coming to China for study. And the next reason is because Chinese universities is the university with high reputation. So their reputation and rankings is increasing over the years, and they are also being able to compete with the other universities, like the other international universities, those who are from other developed countries as well. So Chinese universities are able to compete with them head to head right now because of their increasing reputation and ranking. And as you can see here, in the recent years, there are a lot more Chinese universities that are included in the list of the World University Ranking. So for example, if you can see on the screen there is, let's say, Peking University, Zhejiang University, Fudan University, Nanjing University, Shanghai Chiaotong University, and a lot more other universities are now being able to compete in a global scale as well. And another reason why you should consider studying in China is because studying in China is relatively affordable. So the tuition fee is actually much cheaper compared to if you go other places for study. And for the tuition fee itself, for the non-degree Chinese language program, it is usually starts from $1,000 per semester. And then for degree programs, like bachelor's, master, or PhD, that's actually varies, depends on the programs and also depends on the university you're going to apply for. But roughly, you can spend about $2,000 to like $13,000 per year for the tuition fee only, and that depends also on the university. And then for the accommodation and also living expenses, that's roughly going to be about $300 up to 300 US dollar for like the accommodation expenses only if you choose to stay off campus. But it could be cheaper if you choose to stay like on the dormitories and on campus. And then for the living expenses, a total roughly that's gonna be another 300 to 500 US dollar per month. That depends on where you live, especially if you go study in Beijing or Shanghai, then expect that the expenses would be higher because the cost for like food, for example, is higher in Beijing and Shanghai compared to like other cities in China. But for like other second tier cities in China, it's gonna be affordable to live there. And the next reason is because China is a country with fast development. So as you can see here, these are like basically the pictures of Chinese cities. And the first one is indeed in Beijing, but the next pictures are not in like the first tier cities. So they're in Xiamen and then Chengdu. And yeah, so basically roads are being built and skyscrapers rise from the ground like every day. So Chinese government here emphasizes in uh, building the infrastructure, especially like the buildings, and also making sure that public transportation is well integrated and also like well accessible for all of the people who live in China as well. So they have been investing a lot in many places, in many cities to develop road, railways, and transportation system to make everyone's life a more comfortable. And the next reason would be about technology advancement, because it's because of the technology advancement here in China, it's gonna make your life very comfortable and convenient because you can easily do everything over the internet. Everything is just within a single click from your smartphone in China. So from grocery shopping to rent a bike to pay for like almost everything. Even if you go to like a wet market, you can even pay with your phone. How incredible is that, right? So yeah, that's how fast the technology is rising, and how the technology really affected our life here in China in a comfortable way. And so in conclusion, there are some reasons why you should be studying in China, and I've shared that. And basically, studying in China is going to be an adventure for a lifetime because there are endless of travel opportunities. For sure, you can do this easily as well as usual after COVID ends. And then, yeah, you can discover delicious Chinese cuisine, and also you can meet friends from all over the world, like I said before, because everybody come to China right now. And then in the end, it will be helpful for you to develop a global mindset. And yeah, now it's the time for me to share about admissions update. So admissions is now open for 2021 intake, and the next upcoming intake would be in September 2021 intake, which is in the next 3 months from now, because this is already June. And then for the Chinese language program, like the 1 semester or 1 year Chinese language program, it is basically available in March and September intake. But for the degree programs like bachelor's, master, or PhD, mostly it's only available in September intake. So it's all available in September intake. But if you want to start in March, then there is still an opportunity for that, but the options are going to be very limited because not all programs are going to be available in March. So yeah, these are the deadlines. These are the important dates. And this is very important as well because Chinese universities don't accept late applications. So if you apply late after the deadlines, it's not going to be considered by Chinese universities. So please keep in mind of all the important dates. The application deadlines for the upcoming September 2021 intake would be until July this year. So again, it depends on the university. Some universities deadline are gonna be in the next 7 days, sorry, in the next 6 days in June 15. But like some others are probably in June 30th or like in mid-July or like end of July. So please keep the date with you. Don't forget that you have to complete all the online applications and everything before the application deadline. Otherwise, your applications will not be regarded by Chinese universities. And then for the March 2021 intake, in case if you are applying for March 2021 intake, then the application deadline would be usually until December this year. And if you're looking for CSC or Chinese government scholarships, unfortunately at the moment the application period has closed for CSC because usually the deadline is going to be around March to April. So if you're looking for CSC, the next opportunity for you would be next year in 2022, and you can apply from around January to March 2022 for Chinese government CSC scholarship. And yeah, basically, if you study in China, the programs are not only in Chinese, but there are also degree programs in English available from bachelor's, master, and PhD as well. And it's also in various majors as well. So these are some popular and recommended programs in China that I can share with you. Obviously, there are a lot more good programs beyond the list that I'm sharing here. But in case if you're confused of like which program would be the best for you, or like probably you just need some recommendations, then you can refer to all the lists I shared here for the recommended programs. So the first one is about the what is this, business programs. So for business programs, these are my recommendation. Like Northwestern Polytechnical University, Tongpei University of Finance and Economics, BFSU, they have scholarships available still. And then UIBE, University of International Business and Economics, where I graduated. This is also one of the top business school here in China. So if you're looking for business programs, then you can consider these options. And also, if you want to look for more or like other business programs, you can check on the link over there, or just screenshot this page and then keep it with you, and then copy the link and then go to our platform right away, because there are so many other programs available, but I'm not going to be able to share everything here. Otherwise, I can spend probably 24 hours to share everything with you. So you can check like the detailed information on our platform there on Chat Missions. And then the next one is about bachelor's in computer science and technology. And these are my recommendations for bachelor's or master's in computer science and technology. And it's also available for the PhD levels as well. I know these two universities here, Jiangsu University and Northwestern Polytechnical University, also operate in PhD level and in English as well. So yeah, you can check it later, and also check our platform as well for other universities that offer computer science program. And next one is the other popular program, which is MBBS or medicine. A lot more students want to come to China to study MBBS and medicine. It's a 6 years program in English. And then for MBBS, these are some of our recommendations. And please bear in mind the deadline is coming up real quick. So for some of these universities here, the deadline would be next week. Like for example, Shantou University Medical College, their deadline is gonna be in less than 2 weeks. It's gonna be in June 20th. So that's like 10 days from now, right? So yeah. So bear in mind about all the deadlines, because these universities, they don't accept late applications. So you have to finish all the applications on time before the deadlines. Otherwise, you have to wait for the next round of applications to apply. And again, if you want to see more of the MBBS programs, because there are about 40 programs available in English for MBBS, you can check our platform directly and then choose the program that best suits you, and then start your online application right away. And these are some of the other popular recommended programs for dual degree programs. So if you're looking for dual degree opportunities, you can look into Xi'an Jiaotong Liverpool University. If you graduate there, you'll get one degree from China and another degree from UK from Liverpool University. And then the next one is Sino-British College. Again, it's kind of a similar arrangement. So you get 2 degrees, one from China and then another one from their partnering universities in UK. And then for the next one, AEBS, Asia Europe Business School. It's a different arrangement. It's a different arrangement because this university, they offer 1 degree from China and another degree will come from France, from Emilion Business School in France. And Asia Europe Business School is located in Shanghai. So you'll get to experience China and France at the same time. And for those of you who are looking for MBA programs, Masters in Business Administration or MBA degree, unfortunately, most of the applications deadlines for 2021 September intake has passed. Therefore, the next round of intake would be in September 2022. It's still a year away, but you have plenty of time to basically prepare for everything, including your GMAT or GRE, and like have the sufficient working experience, because for MBA programs, 2 years of working experience will be required. So yeah, those are all basically my recommendations for like the popular programs among our students in the majors. And then these are some of the other popular universities as well among our students, like BFSU for business program. And then they have scholarships available as well. I'll share it with you later. And then for MBBS, we have Shantou University Medical College, Sian Jiaotong Liverpool University for dual degree programs in bachelor's, master's, and PhD. And then Zhejiang University of Science and Technology. Sorry for the typo over there. It's supposed to be Zhejiang University of Science and Technology in Hangzhou. And they have a Chinese language program and bachelor's and master's, mostly in engineering, but business and computer science is also available. And Northwestern Polytechnical University in Xi'an, which offer non-degree Chinese language program, bachelor's, master, and PhD program as well. And for Northwestern Polytechnical University, they'll have an online info session tomorrow. So I'll share the detailed information later so you can register to get more information from the admissions office team directly. So yeah, and these are the recommended online programs for Chinese language program, basically. So this is from BLCU, Beijing Language Culture University, which is one of the oldest university for teaching Chinese. They are very specialized in teaching Chinese and other languages. So you could check out their online Chinese language program, and there is a limited 20% discount available until June 30th, and you can register directly to get to join this program. And they'll also have a free trial class tomorrow that you can join. So I'll share the information with you at the end of this presentation, so you could register for their trial class tomorrow. And yeah, this is another online program that you can join. This is from Dahlia University of Information, and their online Chinese program is available from HSK 0 to 4, and they have one-on-one classes as well for HSK 4 to 5 level. And this is an important information for those of you who wants to study in China, because this is basically the entry requirements for applying to Chinese universities. So there is each requirement to apply to degree programs, especially to Chinese universities. So you have to be at least 18 to apply to Chinese universities. And then there's a maximum age of each of the programs that you are going to apply for. You can check it there. And the minimum of education is there as well, like high school for non-degree and bachelor's program, or bachelor's for master's program. And you have to have master's diploma for PhD. And English certificate is needed as well if you are applying for English top program, unless if you came from English speaking country, or if your previous study is taught in English. Even if, let's say, you studied in Indonesia, which is not the English speaking country, but your whole bachelor's program is taught in English, then you can just ask your university to provide a letter for you, which basically confirms that the whole bachelor's program is taught in English. Therefore, there's no need for you to take TOEFL or IELTS. And then for HSK certificate, usually HSK 5 is required for the application, but it is only for the Chinese top program. And for the minimum grades or score, well, Chinese universities do emphasize on academic performance as well. So the higher your academic performance, for sure, the chances for you to get the admissions will be higher as well, but that's not the only thing that matters. So yeah, at least 75 or 80% would be best, but you just make sure that your scores are not lower than 70%, so you still have a good chance to secure your spot at Chinese University. And the next part is basically about application process and how to complete the application. So the first step is obviously for you to choose the program, and then you need to apply online, start your online application, complete the online application, and then upload the documents, pay the application fee, and then you can submit your application to the China admissions team, and then we'll proceed from there. So how to apply? First of all, you could just go to our platform, apply.chinaadmissions.com/search. And please remember, we do not charge a service fee to help you apply because we're funded by the university. So you only need to pay the application fee as required by the university. So our basic service is free for international students. Then you can just go to our platform and then find the programs that you want to apply for, select the program, and then start your online application right away. So you can just type the keyword there, like for example, business, or maybe just type MBBS or computer science, or whichever program you want to apply for. And then after that, it will show you the result, and you can just filter it and then do a little bit of research on our platform, especially about each of the programs that you want to apply for. And then after that, let's say you have made up your mind and you wanted to apply for this bachelor's and business program, then you can just simply click the apply now, the red apply now button over here. And then you will need to start your online application by creating an account on our platform. Or if you already have an account, you can just simply log into your account as well. So after that, the next step would be to just complete the online application. It's fairly simple. You just need to fill in the online application, like your information about yourself, about your education background, about your work experiences, about your family and finance. And after that, you will need to upload the documents required for your online applications. There's gonna be a list of all the documents you need. I'll also share the list with you later in this presentation, so you could just screenshot and then keep the information with you. And after uploading the documents, then the last step would be to pay the application. So in this case, because the university doesn't charge us application fee, then you can just proceed right away. But if the university charges the application fee, because most of the university do charge it, that's usually around $80 to $150 each one, and it's non-refundable, then the last step would be to pay for the application fee, and then your application is basically good to go. So these are the list of the required documents that you need for your application. So you could just maybe screenshot this page to make it handy, and you can keep this information with you forever, basically. And then yeah, these are all the things you need, like passport, make sure it's a valid passport as well, and then a photo, graduation diploma, and then transcripts, personal statement for bachelor's English certificate, HSK for Chinese top programs, bank statement, two recommendation letters for master's and PhD, and research proposal for PhD applicants. So these are all the basic documents the university need. But other than that, most of the universities nowadays, they will also ask for non-criminal record, which you can obtain from the local police station, and also the foreigner physical examination form. There's a specific form for this foreigner physical examination. So you could just print out the form and then go to the local clinics or local hospital to do the examination. And then, yeah, those are basically the other additional documents needed by the university. Yeah, it's here. And also for students who are under 18 years old, because as I mentioned before, the minimum age to apply would be 18 years old. So if you are under 18 years old, you will need to have a guardian in China, and the guardian has to be either Chinese citizen or a foreigner who is in China under a working visa at least. So then your guardian in China has to go through the whole guardianship procedures to be able to obtain the guardianship letter, and you can submit this letter for your university application. So if you don't have a guardian in China, then it's going to be very difficult for you to apply, especially if you're under 18. So my suggestion would be to either, like, you could just wait for another intake, like probably in March or the next September when you can turn 18, and it's going to be an easier application process for you, because you will not need a guardian by then if you're 18 years old already. So yeah. And yeah, the next thing is about application fee. So basically, application fee is required by the university to process your application, prepare your admissions notice and visa form to your home address, and it is non-refundable. So even in this COVID situation where the universities are not yet able to issue your visa form to your home address, application fee is still required by the university to process your application. So we do provide a lot of payment methods for you that you can use, like Visa and then MasterCard, PayPal, WeChat, Alipay, or you can do a bank transfer to our HSBC bank account in Hong Kong. So yeah, I've basically shared all of the information on how you can apply and then how you can complete your application. So what to do after your application has been submitted to the China admissions team. So after that, basically China admissions will double check on your applications again, make sure everything is completed or according to the university standard. If not, we'll ask you for additional documents that you need to provide. Otherwise, if everything is good to go, then we are going to submit your application to the university. And then after it's submitted, it's going to be under the university review. And if you pass the university review, most of the universities will then invite you for an online interview. And then you can wait for the university's decision, whether you get the acceptance or the rejection from the university. You can get to know that after completing the whole application process, including the interview. And so if you're accepted, then you can pay the deposit fee to the university. And then after that, on a normal situation, the university will send the visa form and admissions notice to your home country so you can apply for a visa at the Chinese embassy and basically fly to China. However, right now is not a normal situation because COVID happens everywhere around the world. And so it leads to the COVID updates here for international students. So as I said before, on a normal situation, the university will be able to send the visa form and admission notice to your home country so you can apply for a visa at the Chinese embassy and fly to China. However, at the moment, because of the COVID-19 that happens everywhere around the world, Chinese government has decided to close the border for international students and foreign visitors. So you're not yet allowed to enter China due to the pandemic, and there's no official information yet about the reopening, about the border reopening date for international students. We're still waiting for it as well, and like the universities are still waiting for that as well. At the moment, only students from South Korea can enter, but students from other countries are not able to enter China yet. And so whether the program will the program starting in September 2021 be delivered online? Basically, it depends on the COVID-19 situation and the border reopening for international students. So it's most likely going to be online again because China's border is still closed for international students as of now. And this is already June, like 3 months away from September. And this whole online classes arrangement basically will continue until the border is back open again for international students in the future. But for students who are already in China right now, most of the universities are able to provide on-campus teaching for them. But some universities still decided to make it all online because majority of their international students are overseas anyway. So it depends on the university. But if you are not in China right now, then most likely it's gonna be online classes, especially because the border is still closed for international students and there's no way international students can enter China right now because universities are not able to issue your visa, Chinese embassies are not able to issue your visa as well. And yeah, these are some exciting scholarships information for those of you who stayed until this part of the presentation. So these are the scholarships opportunities for bachelor's program. So this is for the 1+3 bachelor's program at BFSU Tianjin University. So it's a Chinese language program for a year at BLCC in Beijing, and this is self-funded for the first year. And the student have to pass HSK 4 in the following year, and then they can proceed to Tianjin University to pursue bachelor's program in Chinese language. And this is gonna be for free because it's covered by the scholarship. So it's gonna be for free, and you'll also get a monthly living subsidy from as a part of the scholarship as well. And this program is also available for other majors as well in engineering, business, computer science, art, and language. And yeah, it's basically the same arrangement. The first year in BLCC, it's going to be self-financed. You have to pay it by yourself. And then you have to study 1 year of Chinese language with BLCC. And then you have to pass HSK level 4. Only then you will be able to proceed to Tianjin University and keep the scholarship with you. And other scholarships available, as I mentioned before, is from BFSU Beijing Foreign Studies University. So the deadline is going to be in June 15, which is in the next 6 days, like next week. So they have both bachelor's and master's program covered with scholarships. So they are Bachelor's program is in international business, marketing, finance, economics, and trade. And they have two campuses, one in Foshan and one in Beijing. But if you choose the Foshan campus, actually the scholarship opportunities is much more and it's more generous because it can cover like the free tuition fee for the whole duration of studies, which is 4 years for bachelor's and 2 years for master. But if you choose the one in Beijing, scholarship is still available, but it's going to be on a yearly basis, which means after a year of getting the scholarship, then your performance is going to be reviewed, and then you have to reapply for the scholarships the next year. So yeah, and other than that, Zhejiang University of Science and Technology is also offering scholarships from the Zhejiang provincial government, and it is mostly covering a master's and some a bachelor's program as well. So it's a merit-based scholarships. It's given to students with excellent academic performance, and it can cover mostly the tuition fee for the first year, and then the next year you have to reapply for the scholarship. But still, this is still a generous offer from the scholarships because, as I mentioned before, if you are eyeing to apply for Chinese government scholarships or CSC, basically the application deadline has passed. So this is such a good opportunity right now because all of the other universities mostly only accept self-finance application and no more scholarships application for the next September intake. And other than that, there's also Jiangsu University that offers master's and PhD scholarships under the Jiangsu Presidential Scholarship. So their scholarship will cover 20,000 RMB per year for the tuition fee for master's program, which is about 80-90% of the tuition fee covered with the scholarships. And then for PhD, it's even more better offer because for PhD, you will get free tuition fee and also accommodation covered by Jiangsu University as well. And they have various programs for PhD, but mostly it's in engineering field and computer science. So yeah, these are some tips and tricks that I can share with you, especially about how to choose the program. So the first one is definitely you have to choose the major. You have to know like what you want to do in life, what is your future career, or like which subject you like the most. So for example, if you hate mathematics, just don't bother to take bachelor's in mathematics, right? Because it's gonna be such a stressful 4 years for you. And the next thing would be definitely about the budget. You can discuss this with your sponsor, with your parents, like how much your family or like your sponsor is willing to spend for your education in China. And the last thing to consider would be also about the location. Like if you have any preference in the weather or like the location or certain environment, you have to take that into consideration as well because China is so big. So for example, if you study in Harbin, then that's going to be very cold. And if you choose to study in Kunming, for example, it's going to be very hot, similar to other Southeast Asian countries. So location is something that is very important as well in choosing where to study. And in terms of good reputable universities, these type of universities are not only in Beijing or Shanghai, for example. Good reputable universities in China are scattered all around China, so you could go to anywhere and then still be able to study at a good, highly reputable universities as well. And yeah, if you need more help, you can just do a little quiz on our platform. It's on quiz.china-admissions.com. And then the next one is some guidelines to a successful applications. You can also screenshot this information and keep it with you. So basically, to get a successful application, you have to meet the eligibility criteria and then have an excellent academic performance. 70%, 75% and up would be better. And you need to have a great language proficiency skills and then submit all the required documents and pay the application fee on time because as I mentioned before, universities here don't accept late applications. And for sure, you can apply through China admissions and apply to multiple universities is good. It's useful to increase your chances to get the admissions at the university. And for PhD applicants, you need to also get the supervisor acceptance letter from the professor at the university where you apply. And the next part is about why China admissions. So first reason is because China admissions is free of charge. As I mentioned before, our basic free service is free. So you can use our platform to apply to Chinese universities, and we're free because we are funded by the universities, and you only need to pay the application fee as required by the university. And the second reason is because China Admissions is a one platform for all, meaning you can apply to multiple universities in just one click at China Admissions. And the last thing is because our team here is responsive. We are reachable anytime by email, WhatsApp, or you can also schedule a call with us. And these are the other services that we have besides the basic free service. We also have the fast track priority application service, and that's an extra $100 for your application, exclude the application fee. And this is basically useful for all of you who wants to apply to the universities, which deadline is like 5 or 7 days away, because we can we can prioritize your application and fast track the application submission process for you. And then the last one would be the guaranteed application service, and this is extremely popular among our students who wants to apply for very competitive programs, like maybe those MBBS program, MBA program, and also computer science program, or like those who are looking into applying to the really top ranking universities. You can choose to use our guaranteed application service. First of all, you could just schedule a call with us first, and then we can help to get to know your plan as well, and then help to tailor up, and then basically help you with the plan as well. And then we will check your academic performance and then help you with the plans of like which are the potential universities for you. So we'll help you with everything from end to end. And another service is for the scholarship students, especially those who are applying for the CSC scholarships. So for Chinese government scholarships, we have the scholarship consulting service, where we are going to help you with reviewing your application, your documents, and helping you choose the programs, and basically give you the guide so you can successfully complete your scholarship application and submit it on time and successful to the university. And yeah, we also have international English tests. So for those of you who are not able to take IELTS or TOEFL, you can take our IET, International English Test. It is recognizable by many Chinese universities in China. And then it's an online test. So there's no need for you to go anywhere. You can even just do it in your bedroom, living room, dining room, or wherever you are. And then it's a one-on-one online test, mainly going to assess your your English speaking skills. And then it's also affordable because it's gonna be only 79 US dollar, and you'll get the certificate for the English test that you can use to apply to Chinese universities. And these are the most common questions people ask about the applications. So the intake for Chinese universities is roughly in March and September every year. And then, is dormitory available? How can I book it? It's available, depends on the universities. Most of them have dorms for international students. Booking is doable only after you receive the admissions letter, and we can help you to book it online. And it is doable after the border is open for international students. And then what is the age requirement to apply? Those are the age requirement to apply. It's basically about 18 to 30 years old, or 18 to 25 years old for bachelors, 18 to 35 for masters, and 18 to 40 for PhD. And for non-degree Chinese language program, it's more flexible. Usually Chinese universities can accept students up to 60, 65 years old as well. And if you're under 18 years old, then you need to have a guardian in China, and the guardian can be a Chinese person or a foreigner who is living in China with a valid working permit. And remember, another student cannot be your guardian. And how much is it cost to study in China? The tuition fee is there. It starts from 2,500 US dollar per year for degree programs, and living cost and accommodation in total, that's gonna be $500 to $800 per month. That depends on where you live, especially if you live in big cities like Beijing or Shanghai. Probably you'll spend like 700-800 US dollar per month. And then the next question, can I work and study at the same time? A lot of students are asking me this because in other countries, students are able to do this. But unfortunately, in China, it's not allowed because it's considered illegal. but international students can still do internship as long as you get the permission from the university as well. And what are the additional required documents? It's basically the documents I've mentioned before. And how to get the PhD supervisor acceptance letter. You have to contact the PhD professor at the university by email. Usually the list and their contact info is available on the university website, and then you have to send them the request. And it's better to also attach your research proposal as well, so they get to know what's your research direction and they get to decide whether it's a match with their research direction or not. And when is the application deadline? It's coming very, very soon. It's the next one is going to be in June to July mostly, so make sure to finish your application before the deadlines. And yeah, these are another common questions that students usually ask me. So I will only be able to get my high school diploma after July. So can I still apply? Yes, you can still apply, but you need to get your pre-graduation letter from your school. And this should mention your expected graduation date, and then you can use this to for your application instead of the high school diploma for now. And then for the transcripts, if it's not released yet, you can use your previous year's transcripts. For example, if you're in high school, you can submit the grade 10 to grade 11 transcripts, or maybe up to the grade 12 first semester transcripts. It's also okay. And then for the bank statement, can I use my parents' bank statement because they're going to pay for my education anyway? Yes, you can use your parents' bank statement, and then the balance on the bank statement should be enough to cover at least 1 year of expenses of studying in China. So, can I apply late after the deadline? No, it's a strict no because Chinese universities don't accept late applications. So, how long is the application process? It's roughly about 4 to 8 weeks from the time you uh, successfully submitted the applications to get the final admissions result. But again, it varies, depends on the universities, because some of them can process it very fast, but some of them might take a longer time to process the application. And the most important one, can I study on campus in China for September 2021 intake? And is the border open now? The border is still closed, right? However, the admissions is going normally despite that. So universities might only be able to offer online classes, and students' visas are not issued yet at the moment. So yeah, these are some other cool events that we have in the following weeks. And for tomorrow, we also have an event with Northwestern Polytechnical University. You can scan the QR code over there to join and register for the event. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Beijing time tomorrow on Thursday, June 10th. And it's going to be online on Zoom as well. The link will be provided after you register, and they are going to share their programs and admissions information. And this is the last event from Northwestern Polytechnical University because their deadline is coming up this month. So after this, they will not have another event for September 2021 intake. And another event is with BLCU. Yeah, with BLCU, it's a free trial Chinese language class with BLCU, Beijing Language Culture University. It's also the same date. It's tomorrow on June 10, but it's at 7 p.m. Beijing time. So the topic is going to be talking about directions and location in Chinese. So feel free to also join this free trial Chinese class with BLCU so you can experience online Chinese classes and maybe top up your Chinese skills as well. And these are some other informations on our blogs, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel because we have we have some cool contents over there about China, about life in China, and some general updates about everything. And you can also find some information about how to prepare for your documents, and also about some of our student success story is also there on our YouTube channel. So we interviewed some of our previous students about their experiences studying in China so far, and their experiences in general about China admissions, about the programs they're joining and everything. So you could also check it on our YouTube channel as well. So yeah, if you need any other information, feel free to contact us on this communication channel. You can email, send an email, or add us on WhatsApp, or also follow our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then follow us on our LinkedIn, Twitter, and if you have WeChat, you can also follow our WeChat official account as well. So this is basically the end of the presentation. I hope all the information is useful for you. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can just type it on the chat bar over there. So I think I can allow like probably 5 to 10 minutes to answer all of your questions. And yeah, so the first question here, will China open the border for international students this year? So that one's remain unknown. I don't know the answer as well, because as far as I know, at the moment, the border is still closed for international students, and there is no new update about the border opening yet, although everybody shared that it's going to be open. It's just a matter of when is the time for it to open, and that depends on the Chinese government. So let's just wait for the Chinese government official update on the border opening for international students, and hope it can be open very soon for everyone. And then, is there any scholarship for language 1 year program? There is hardly any scholarships for Chinese language program. It's very, very limited. I think the only one that is available, it's called, it's a part of the Chinese government scholarships. It's called the Confucius Institute Scholarship. It's for the Chinese language program, but as far as I know, the application deadline has passed as well, because it was in like up to April or May. So after that, universities are not accepting these applications for this type of scholarships as well. And this type of scholarship, the Confucius Institute scholarship, is not for all the universities. So they have a list of universities that do offer these scholarships. So you might want to check out that probably for next year if you are eyeing for the scholarships. But otherwise, you can still apply under self-finance basis for Chinese language 1 year program. And next question, is there any scholarships for MBBS degree course? It's kind of like a similar situation. There's basically almost no scholarships for MBBS program, especially the English taught MBBS. So there is no full scholarships for English taught MBBS. So most of the universities only accept applications on self-finance basis, and it's very competitive because they have a limited space every year. Usually that's about 50 to 100 students every year. And then other than that, I think the only scholarships that you can probably still apply would be Chinese government scholarships type A, which is via the Chinese embassy one. But as far as I know, that only covers the Chinese taught MBBS program, not the English one. So if you want to apply for the English taught MBBS program, then it's mostly gonna be self-finance, and you have to self-finance your application, your studies in China. And then, what is your opinion about taking Chinese language program? Or another question is still related: is Nanjing University good for Chinese language program? Well, I would say that taking Chinese language program everywhere is good, because like all of the universities in China, they also offer Chinese language program. So you can do it in Shanghai, in Beijing, in Nanjing, in Tianjin, in wherever you are. You can just go to like anywhere and just take the Chinese language program there. I would say the curriculum is roughly the same everywhere you go, because they have a standardized curriculum as well, and it's usually follow the HSK as well. But other than that, probably the main difference later would be the surroundings of where you live. I mean, at the moment you're not able to visit China yet, but later when it's time, when the border is back open, then you can visit and study in China, in their campus in Shanghai or in Nanjing or wherever. Then I think the main differences would be that experiences of like where you live, because you might get a different experience, let's say if you live in Shanghai than Beijing, or like if you live in Beijing and then you move to Xiamen, that's gonna be a different experiences. And then there's also some accent as well. Like Beijing people, they have a very strong accent, and if you go to Shanghai, then they have a different accent. It's not as it's a different accent than Beijingers here. So I think that's like another thing to consider. And in terms of like what you're going to study, it's more or less gonna be similar to each other, in my opinion. If it's in terms of building relations or have connections, environment, I think that depends as well on like what's your goal in building the relation. I mean, if let's say you want to be friends with the other Chinese students, for example, right? Like everywhere you go, there is always an opportunity for that. Because in Chinese universities, mostly they also have a lot of student groups, student organizations that you can join as well, where you can also mingle with Chinese students, or like student sport activities where everybody can join as well. I know one of my classmates who joined my university volley team, and she's a part of the volley team together with all the Chinese students as well. So yeah, I mean, such things is definitely possible in China. So I think it depends on what kind of relation that you're looking for. If you're looking for like a professional relation, like in other cities, as even though it's not in Beijing or Shanghai, I think it's still possible. But there are more opportunities for foreigners. I think in big cities like Beijing or Shanghai. So if you would like to go into like networking in a professional scale, probably go to Beijing or Shanghai might be a better solution for you, because there are a lot more groups for expats or like for foreign talents as well in these big cities. Another question. Any updates about global studies? Because I lately joined the meeting. Anything I miss? Maybe I can just go back to the FAQ part, and then it's basically all there, or like, yeah, because I'm not sure about global studies. I'm not sure what you mean here. If you can clarify that so I can give you the right answer to that. So for goal, may I know any scholarships for Chinese language program? I have answered that questions earlier. And then from another student, is it possible to take Chinese language and MBA at the same time? This is such a good question. And yes, it is actually possible to take Chinese language and MBA or like other degree programs at the same time, as long as you can manage your time well. So because like let's say if you take the Chinese language program at the university, usually it's quite an intensive program as well. And then the classes would be like from Monday to Friday, and then roughly it's about 3 or 4 hours a day. So this might be conflicting with your MBA program. So I would say if you want to do it this way, then at least you can do it during your second year, or maybe during your second semester, where you're already familiar with your schedule, where you're already familiar with how you can manage your time. So then you can sign up for the online. Then you can sign up for the Chinese language intensive course. But otherwise, if you're only doing like a short Chinese language program, I think it's more manageable. For example, the online Chinese language program, or like the one-on-one Chinese language program, because for these type of online classes, usually it's only like once a week, or maybe like you can also arrange to schedule yourself, but every day. But each class is probably going to be like an hour long. So I think it's very, very manageable to do it this way, because like you'll be able to to just allocate an hour of your week to take the Chinese language class. I think, yeah, this is my opinion. It depends on like how you can manage your time in the end. Last question. What is the average age for a Chinese language program? Okay, it's actually here. So for Chinese language program, it's usually more flexible, and they can accept students up to 60, 65 years old usually. But if it's an online Chinese language program, it's even more flexible. So if you are older than 65 years old, there should be no problem. For another question, what about the scholarships for Chinese MBBS degree course? As I mentioned before, scholarships for Chinese MBBS degree course is available through the Chinese government scholarship, Chinese government scholarship type A, which is the via Chinese embassy in your home country. So that's how you apply. So you have to send your application to Chinese embassy in your home country, and then the application period is usually in the beginning of the year, around January to February for this type of scholarships. And then the Chinese embassy will be the one that is basically processing the applications, and they'll let you know if you can proceed with the scholarships or not. But yeah, the application is only available through Chinese government scholarship type A or the Chinese embassy one. And then another question. This might be the last question. Can I apply using IB predicted score or IB diploma score? Yes, you can apply using IB predicted score or IB diploma score. And then, as I mentioned here as well, for example, if you're not able to get your final transcripts as well, then you can submit your current transcripts. So, for example, the one from grade 10 to 11, you can submit that first if you're not able to get the final year transcripts. And that's also the same situation for the diploma as well. So if you're graduating later, probably in, let's say, July or August, then you can use the pre-graduation letter from your school, ask them to write a pre-graduation letter for you and mention the expected graduation date. And you can use this as a substitute for your high school diploma for now for the application. So then you have to submit these documents and then complete the application basically before the application deadline. Right, so I think this is the final question. Right, I was having signal problem. Okay, so scholarships for Chinese language program is only available through the Confucius Institute scholarship. So yeah, that's the only scholarships available for Chinese language program. You can check the Confucius Institute scholarships website for more information. But usually the application period is around the beginning of the year, so roughly around like February up to March, April, or like end of April. So yeah, I have to check it because that's the only scholarships available for Chinese language program. Because for most of the universities, they only provide a self-finance option for the Chinese language program. Yeah, and these are the events that we are going to have tomorrow with Northwestern Polytechnical University. Make sure to scan it to register. And another one is the free trial class with BFSU at 7 p.m. tomorrow as well. You can scan to register. And then this is the contact information. So if you need any further help with your applications, or if you have any other questions, anything at all, feel free to just email me or send a WhatsApp message or follow our social medias, follow our Wechat official account as well, and you can search for programs and start your online application right away on our platform Channel Admission. So yeah, I think probably that's the end of the presentation today. I hope it's useful information for all of you. Again, if you have any questions, anything at all, feel free to reach us out. You can just contact us through those communication channel. All right, then, yep. Probably see you tomorrow if you're joining the BFSU and also the Northwestern Polytechnical University info session. And yeah, that's the end of today's admissions update session with Channel Admissions. And I wish you all have a good day ahead then. All right, thank you guys for joining. Bye.